how I moved from 50k to a millionaire. So this is not one of those stories that you hear on the internet and you just go ahead and think that it's just like, okay, they're here again. No, so this is my life story. This is a true life story. I'm going to be running you through how all of that happened for me during COVID. Hi guys, my name is Charity Shibura, as it's written on your screen. I'm a professional and full-time makeup artist based in the city of Lagos, Nigeria. I'm also a YouTuber, hence why you're seeing my face on YouTube. So I bring you tutorials, tricks, hacks, everything on how to navigate your makeup journey, both personally and of course professionally. I bring you from time to time how I was able to navigate life in general. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome. If you are tuning in for the very first time, hey girl, hey guy, so pleased to meet you. Please, before we proceed and get carried away in this video, I would like you to please like this video. So without any further ado, let's get into why we are here, why you clicked on this video. As you all know, I was privileged and opportune to work with the reputable House of Tara. Yes, in case you don't know House of Tara is a makeup brand, like a very reputable makeup brand in Nigeria. And yes, your girl, me, I was privileged to work with them at the time. So while I worked with House of Tara, I was one of the least paid staff of House of Tara at the time. But for me, it was just about it because it was like a dream come true for me. I was happy. I'm not even going to lie. I was happy that I even got to work with the company at all. So don't get me wrong. So at the time, I was earning 50,000 naira, which was okay at the time. But I mean, I knew there was room for more. I mean, I knew a lot of people were earning like twice, thrice that amount at the time. So, but I was just okay for that as a start because the HR that interviewed me made me understand that there's room for growth, you know, a significant increase, and all of them like, okay, this should be a start. So fast forward to 6 months or 1 year, I can't remember exactly. You know, there'll be like an appraisal that will be done. So I think every company does this. So they're going to check your progress report, find out, you know, how you're doing in the company, and of course that can actually like open you up for promotion or salary increase. So we got to that point and I was really happy because I was so sure that I was going to be, you know, maybe not promoted, but I was so sure that my salary was going to change. Yeah, because I mean, in as much as 50,000 was okay, but it was not really enough to get by. You guys, if you are not staying in the city of Lagos, Nigeria, transportation like took at least 80% of that money. Yeah, after all the there's no complaint from customers, you're doing well and all of that. So HR reached out to me after the appraisal, I think 2 days, and she said, you know what, you did well, but based on the company's policy, this is where you're going to be. So there's no increase, there's no nothing, you're still going to be earning 50,000. And I'm like, why? Like I felt really disappointed. So she was like, it is what it is, you know. So she didn't outrightly tell me, but it was more like, you either continue with your 50,000 or you can as well leave if you're uncomfortable with the policy, right? I'm like, okay, cool. So I think she got off the call, and that particular day, I think I had my off day 2 days after. So that day I wasn't going to come to office the next 2 days, so I went home, and the next off day I spent it crying. I was crying my eyes out because I felt really unappreciated, unnoticed. I felt really like, what? Child, I was doing good. Like I felt entitled. Yes, I mean, this is my hard work. I worked hard for this. Like, so I remember my internal control person, Madam Chinyere, she called me because I was carrying her along with everything that was going on, and in fact she even assured me that it could be something can be done and all that. So she called me the next day just to check up on me because she actually like wanted to know how I was feeling genuinely. And when she did call me, I think I broke down. I was crying. She was like, "You're still crying?" So I was crying and I was complaining. I work so hard. I go to work early. I don't have any customer complaint and all of that. I just went yappy. And, for some weird reason, she got really offended. She was so angry with me and she was like, "Hold on a minute. Are you this ungrateful? Yeah, I know that you actually already positioned your mind to earn more." Because even at the time, I was only thinking they were going to move my salary from 50,000 to 70,000. That was actually what I thought would happen, because I knew that they were not going to demote anybody for me, but at least my salary should come up a little bit. Because so, and she was like, are you this ungrateful? You're not even grateful that you have a job. Okay, so what's going to happen? You're going to quit your job and you're going to go look for another job. So what's the tendency that another job is out there waiting for you? And then she said something. She said, "Do you know that there are some bankers that are not earning up to 50,000? These people that you see wearing suit and tie and going to the bank every day, they're not earning up to 50,000." And that was really profound, because I actually know someone who works in the bank that was earning 40,000 at the time, a graduate. So it just kind of hit me again. I'm like, so I think I stopped crying, and she just talked and she just like, wake your ass up, just come back to reality. This is what you love to do, and be thankful. So when she got off that call, I remember vividly, I was alone that day, but I put my face on the ground. I laid flat on my face and I was like, "God, I'm so sorry if I actually took this job for granted and I wasn't grateful enough for it. You know what? I'm just okay with whatever the outcome is. You are the one that's giving me this job, and I'm thankful for it. 50,000, 70,000. What's the difference? 20,000. Is it why I want to kill myself over?" So I think when I made that prayer, it was as if something jacked out of my system, and I caught my momentum back and my enthusiasm was back. And I felt like a sense of relief, as if something was just on me that lifted. So I remember going to church that same week. I praised God like never before, and that was even the time that I upped my offering from what it used to be to another level. And I went back to work with quadruple of the same enthusiasm that I put earlier. You guys, I was a performer. I was child, I loved every bit of that job. So I went back to work, and of course I enjoyed my work. I didn't even talk about it again with anybody. I just enjoyed the flow. So fast forward to 2 months after that. No, it was the same month COVID struck, and of course, we all had a compulsory holiday all over the world. Everybody went home, and that was another fear for me, because I was thinking that because that time companies were downsizing, and my company actually did did I say my company? Yes, it was my company at the time. So, and I was maybe I won't be among the people that they would actually tell to leave, but I don't know, for some weird reason, I wasn't among, So then 2 months after that or thereabout, can't remember exactly, we came back, we resumed back. For those of us in Nigeria, we resumed back to work, and this time, you see, God. My pastor said something, and yes, this is one of the reasons my ex did not marry me, because he would say, I'm always saying my pastor said this, my pastor say that, but then my pastor said something. He said, most of the times when God is dealing with you, God is not going to give you finished products. He will give you raw material, right? That was my story, because I started from 50,000. Look at it. If you don't see the bigger picture, you don't know what God is about to do. My story now is a reminder that this scripture is true. All things work together for the good of them that love the Lord. Everything minus nothing. And then of course, God is the reward and the rewarder. A man might not see, but God sees every work that you put in. And then also, this story of mine, the way COVID happened and the way everything turned out, it just kind of reminds me of the blood of Jesus. Remember I said, my HR said there was a policy on ground. Yeah, I wasn't expecting anybody to break any policy for me. But you see, the policy said that I'm to remain at 50,000. But you see, when COVID struck, COVID broke off the policy and created a new one. Yes, and that's what the blood did. The blood washed us clean like we never sinned. You know, like the blood justifies. You know, so when we resumed and there was a new policy, this policy put everybody on the same pedestal. Everybody became equal. It wasn't even about how long you worked and all of that. It was strictly, especially for makeup artists, strictly by commission. Like you don't sell products or do makeup services, you don't get paid. Yeah. So, and it was based on commission, of course, based on performance. And guess who was a performer? Your girl. And to be very honest, to be fair, I didn't even know how that was going to turn out, like immediately for me, because I was naturally like enjoying myself. So I wasn't, you know, putting in so much work per se because I wanted to earn more. I was just doing what I was already doing, right? So, you know, the first month was rough because I had to work in and out of different branches. So the next month I went back to my branch and there was this rumor that was echoing that, oh, they might, so, and then not only, my neighbor's child is crying and the cry is loud. I just hope that it's not in this video, but if it is, please bear with me. All right, so not only was my company downsizing, they were also closing down branches that were not doing so well before the COVID, right? So, and then my branch was one of the branches that was in that plan to close up. So I went back to the branch. Once they close your branch, they might actually close everything, like including the staff. Everybody have to go. It's not like they'll close the branch and then tell you to go and work somewhere else. So when the news came that my branch had fallen into that category, that they would close up my branch, and so I just got to a place where I was like, I'm gonna be out of job. This same job that I was ungrateful for, and my name is here. So I remember vividly. So one day I closed myself in the studio and I started to pray. I started to cry. So I think my studio has like a soundproof. So I just turned on the music and I started to pray. I started to pray. I started to cry. I started to remind God that, you know, He has showed up for me. He has been there for me. That He should do something that I. And I reminded God. I said, God, you gotta show yourself. I know that people are not in a place where they're trying to look pretty. Everybody's looking for what they're going to eat and all of that. But I don't know how you're going to do it. But you gotta show up for your child. You have to. And then I cried, I prayed. Well, if you see me, I was warring. It was more like I grabbed God by his skirt, like Jacob did, like wrestled, like I warred. And I'm like, so I think I finished, and I got up. I went to wash out my face because we're always looking this pretty entire. So I went because I had already ruined my makeup that I didn't want. So I went out, I washed out my face, and I came back. And then I put on a new makeup, put on the music, and I was just happy. And then God gave me a strategy to call my clients one after the other. And I started to make out calls. I started to call them, and I'm like, oh, we're back. I know that you say, oh, you really? So the thing is, I would call them and they'll be like, I know that we're not really going out charity, but you know what? I don't need to change my makeup products. I do. Like, I need to let some things go. And tell me that's not God. Like, tell me that, you know, someone who is not going to work, who's working from home, needs makeup. Tell me. And it went on and on. It was as if anybody that I called was waiting for my call. So long and short of story, that month ended and I made a lot of sales. And that particular month, my take home was 97,000. Like, tell me why I'm earning double my salary in COVID. tell me, tell me. And then it continued like that. And then the next upper month, I made times 3 my salary as my take home. So I think that time our commission was about either 15% of whatever income that we. So if is it 15 now or 10? I can't remember. So you should know the revenue that only me brought in. So now this is another icing on the cake. Not only did my branch got saved from closing up, because my branch was doing well. We had a new branch manager, and guess who was the branch manager? Me, of course. So yes, I was promoted to becoming the branch manager of the Ikeja branch at that time. So you know, when you get paid more, it's easier for you to save. For somebody like me, yeah, it was easier for me to save, and before you knew it, I became a millionaire. Oh yes. I remember the story today, and I said I'm going to share the story with my community. I'm going to tell you something for free. This is not a story that I just want you to listen to, because a lot of people knew about this, my journey, and the testimony that came with it. So such persons will be precious. If you're watching this video, I want you to please comment below and let them know that this is a true life story. Lisa, you already know this. Please comment below, let them know that this is a true life story. Kalista, if you are in this video, please comment below, let them know that this is a true life story. So I want to tell you that no matter how dark the situation is, no matter where you are currently, I want you to know that God is a God of light. In Him there's no darkness at all. This story will forever live rent free in me, in my life, because tell me why all of this happened for me when it did. Right? Because God is faithful. He calls light out of darkness. Please do not feel like you're alone. Do not feel like God has forsaken you. See, no matter how dark it is, light is going to shine. Okay, take my story for it. Light is coming. God is still on the throne. God is faithful. Right? So I'm not saying that was because of all that I did, but I want you to stay with God. If you are calling on the name of the Lord, call it very loud, very well. Hold on to God. If He is your plan A to Z, let Him be. All right. So thank you so much for watching, and of course, check out my other videos. I have a lot of stories like this that might interest you. Please go check my playlist. You're gonna see tons of videos that you're gonna like. It's going to actually bless you. All right, so I'll see you in my next video. For now, bye bye.